I-24F unknowingly being a side fling for a guy in a relationship. I have unknowingly been part of a cheating. This has only just happened really, so it's all quite fresh, but I needed to vent and get this off my chest. First of all, I need to explain how this whole situation played out. My mother's boyfriend's, Alan, nephew is getting married, and since we own a campsite, my mother offered them to have the campsite for the stag party. Well, anyway, they all arrived yesterday, and they were all very nice lads. Anyway, I ended up just going over to the pitch just to have a drink. Alan even encouraged me to, since his own son and father were also in attendance and he even reassured me it was okay. The guys were polite and didn't have an issue. And anyway, I was sat next to this guy, James, who had a bottle of vodka. Anyway, James offered me some, and you can guess how the evening progressed after that. Anyway, I was talking to James, who was next to me. He was the one with the bottle of vodka. Anyway, we got chatting and then we kissed. Well, I think he kissed me. Anyway, before anything went further, I did ask James the obvious question. Was he seeing anyone? Was there another woman? He told me no, though I've always been a cautious person, so whilst he went to the toilet, I went and asked some of the other guys if he was single. They said he was. So the rest of the evening/early morning progressed with us kissing. James did ask if I wanted to go back to the tent with him, but I said no, I'm not that type of person. And I couldn't help but notice we were getting a few looks. However, I assumed that it was because I was the only woman there. Anyway, eventually, he offered to walk me back to my house and even lent me his jumper to keep warm. James seemed like an alright/stand-up guy. Anyway, this morning rolled around and I, Alan and my mum went to give the guys some breakfast rolls and me to return James' hoodie. Once again he was very affectionate, he caressed my hand. But this time with my now clear head, I noticed something felt off with the looks we were receiving. So I went back to the house. Anyway, the lads went off to some adventure course, though James decided to stay at the campsite and just slept. Apparently he got hold of some more alcohol this morning and was once again pissed. Anyway, in the afternoon Alan comes to get me. Apparently James is not staying the second night and is instead going home, but he wanted to say goodbye to me, so I went and said goodbye and he said he wanted to keep in touch. Now I'm thinking he seems like such a nice guy. He was respectful when I told him I would not sleep with him. He walked me back to the house and behaved like such a gentleman. We exchanged number and he got in his mate's car. We started chatting on Snapchat right away and all seems to be going well. Anyway, a couple hours later the rest of the men return, and once they learned that the guy had gone home, that's when it all came out. Apparently they took Alan aside and explained that James did in fact have a girlfriend, but didn't want to say anything until after he left, since they knew that if Alan found out he would have beaten the guy black and blue. Alan is not someone to be messed with. Like, he comes from the streets of Liverpool and is affiliated with one of its gang, and his father is ex-army. Alan's whole family holds a lot of respect and fear in Liverpool. Apparently, according to the men, James has some substance issues and is just messed up right now, and he does this type of thing. And now all the weird looks are starting to make sense. And Alan of course comes to my defense and tells them that if I had even a hint I would not have even entertained the thought. Which is true. I assumed he was single. He told me so, and some of the other guys told me so as well. So now I'm just sitting in my room feeling like the biggest idiot in the whole world. I sent James a message basically telling him that he was a piece of shit and all that, but now I just can't shake this awful feeling. Out there is some girl that thinks her boyfriend is just going out with his mates for the weekend, and have all these guys just been watching me and James knowing that he has a girlfriend but didn't want to tell me. I haven't even got the nerve to face these guys. Alan did say that they know that I was completely unaware of it all, but all I can think about is that they're all thinking that's the girl that James led on. James led on Alan's girlfriend's daughter, who is member of one of Liverpool's infamous gangs. God forbid if he finds out. Anyway, Alan had made it clear that James is not welcome back here, and if he does, Alan will smash his face in. I fully believe that James' girlfriend deserves to know what happened. I would want someone to tell me about it, but I don't have her number nor know anything about her, and Alan told me that it was best that this never get talked about again. I just felt so embarrassed, and so sorry for the girlfriend, disgusted with James for his behavior, and honestly kind of frustrated with the guys for not saying anything sooner. They could have come up to me and told me he was in a relationship, and I would have instantly backed away and had Alan's son walk me back to the house and would not have ever told Alan about it. Some of them even blatantly lying to me about him being single. I truly believe the girlfriend deserves to know, since it's the right thing, but I'm the only one who does, and that attitude is making me feel even worse. I don't know if I made much sense, but I just seems to vent.